What's going on? It's Fist doing my movie reviews. There's so much news out there. I thought I was going to be spared from making a video over Memorial Weekend, but it's a great weekend. Movies are out, people killing people. I mean, that's not a great thing, but there's something that needs to be addressed. Debating about PS4, Xbox, arguing on Twitter, all this stuff. But anyways, I'm doing this movie review because I like vlogging now, and I like going to the movies with, family or my girl, my wifey, and I want you guys to feel what we're feeling, and tell you if it's worth, spending your money or going to the movies and seeing those things or doing whatever. So anyways, I did a 31-minute review, and I was like, yo, that's a little too long. Let me go ahead and do the shorter version. So, went to see X-Men 3D, got my little glasses on, we're sitting there. Anyways, if you get there too early, basically the movie theaters are making you watch these commercials. You're paying money. You pay $33. You don't want to see no damn commercials. But if you're late, you don't get tickets in prime time, or you get a bad seat. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, So I really didn't appreciate that. I hope they do something about that. I don't want to see commercials 5 minutes before a movie. So, anyways, the movie starts. It's 3D. You want to be entertained. That's why you go to 3D movies. You want to be razzle-dazzle, have some fun, It's entertainment. Memorial Weekend, enjoy yourself. There's a lot going on. This is one of the things you partake in with your family. So, the movie starts, and the premise of the movie is this, is that, Sentinels in the future, 2025, 2023, whatever it is, have the ability to mimic any powers of the mutants, and therefore kill them, kill humans, and the bad people in control, and there's no way to stop them, and there's tyranny on the planet, and it looks like Terminator 3, and there's dead bodies and everything, and you think this movie's about to be awesome, right? You're sitting there, and you're like, ooh, I can't wait, it's about to get exciting, these Sentinels blowing up, and X-Men fighting all the movie, and wrong answer. So, anyways, the mutants are about to be dead. There's like a few of them left, Xavier's like, there's not many left. And so they're like, let's come up with a plan, Magneto. Let's send Wolverine's subconscious back in time and stop wherever this point of this was going to happen. And where it was going to happen is Mystique was going to kill the person who was the head of Trask Industries, Game of Thrones midget dude, whatever his name is. He's the guy in the movie. He's the head of Trask Industries. She's going to kill him. But they realize what that does is she kills him. That exposes the mutants a lot earlier in 1973, and they capture her, use her DNA because they don't know mutants out. I mean, last time was 1965 missile crisis. But that was CIA. It wasn't really out in the public. But when she kills him, it's out in the public. She's all blue, and they're like all scared. And they take her mutant DNA, they put it on the Titans, and now they have the ability to like battle any mutant that has the same power as them, and they can take their mutant power and use it against them and kill them, right? So, they can't beat them. So this is the point where it started, and they think that if she didn't kill him, they would like just throw that idea out, and they would never kill. The mutants wouldn't be exposed until a lot later on down the road. So they send back Wolverine's subconscious through Kitty, which is the daughter of Jean and Cyclops. They send his subconscious back to his younger self. His younger self his mission is to get Xavier and Magneto together. First, he's got to rescue both of them. I'm not going to go through that. He rescues both of them. Rescuing Xavier is a melodramatic part. He looks like a heroin addict. Oh, man, you got to have faith in yourself. Come on, dude. And then the other part is rescuing Magneto, and it shows it's a little bit more aggressive. They find the speed dude, and that was a cool part in the movie, right? And so they come together. They realize they got to go to Paris to stop Mystique from killing this midget Trask guy. So they get there, and then all of a sudden Magneto flips out. Magneto's like, yo, Trask Industries shows them they're going to build these robots, these Sentinels, to stop, the mutants, to all this Geneva Convention of all these military dudes. And so Magneto steals this information, puts it in his hand, and then he gets the idea, like, why even stop this Mystique from killing this guy? Let me go ahead and kill her, Mystique. And so he sends a bullet after her. She jumps out the window. It hits her in the leg. But everybody's downstairs because all the military and nations are coming together. So this news is just live. It's 1973. And so now everybody is focused on all of these mutants that are out in the open fighting. So Mystique comes down. Magneto floats down the window. So all the cameras are focused on them. And then the Beast comes out to try to save Mystique from being killed because they don't want her being killed because, you know, they could use her body for the Sentinel creation DNA or whatever. And so she takes off in the crowd. Beast is fighting with Magneto, you know, trying to choke him. And anyways, everybody gets away, but the newscast is like showing everybody. And then Magneto sees that the blood is on the floor and they're picking it up. And then they realize that by them exposing themselves, even though they stopped the assassination, it's even worse. And it's 1973. It completely changes the timeline, like a Biff Tanner, Back to the Future Part 2. It completely changes the timeline. So any movie that you've seen in the past about X-Men does not exist anymore. For that one timeline change, now President Nixon enacts this Trask Industries to create the Sentinels, and they have to fight these mutants earlier than they had to from 1973. So now it's even going to be a worse future for the people that are held up about to die in the future. So now you're like, okay, how's this gonna change and everything? So anyways, Magneto, they enable the act for the Titans to be built. He's like, yo, I can't find Mystique. She's already disappeared. It's not gonna happen that way. They already found her blood. He's already figured out there's no point in killing her. They already got her blood. They're gonna create these Sentinels anyway. But in the meantime, the other guys still think that Mystique is going to kill somebody, and they're like trying to find her anyway. I don't even know why. It's like a part of the movie that makes, you know, little to no sense. They're like, get in the dome, and I'm gonna, you can find yourself through Wolverine's subconscious, who talks back to himself from the future. Xavier, you can do it. And anyways, she's gonna she has a plot to go to where they were going to release the information to the public, where they bring the Sentinels on display. So they split the story up. Magneto goes with the Sentinels, and he has the idea to put all his metal inside the Sentinels to take them over, and he's going to surprise everybody, where they're going to show all the Sentinels at the White House. Well, the other crew of Xavier, Wolverine are chasing Mystique because she's going to sneak into this presentation to either kill the president or the guy from Trask Industries. One way or the other, they're both going to wind up at the same place. So, Magneto, and so we move forward to the movie, and they're at the White House. The Sentinels are there, and they're about to be shown to the public, and they drop those drapes, and there they are, the big robots, and they're like, oh my god, and then the other X-Men are in the party, are in the crowd, and Xavier's got his powers back, and he's trying to find Mystique, and finally he finds her, and he stops her from trying to shoot this Trask guy. In the meantime, here comes Magneto. He rips a stadium up, or whatever. There's a stadium, a football or baseball stadium, and his idea is to throw it around the White House to stop any police cars from coming in. And he comes in, and he's controlling the Sentinels, and they're fighting any of the other mutants that are trying to stop him. And so the people like Nixon and his staff, they're like, let's get out of here, President. Here comes Magneto, and he's controlling the Sentinels, and it's all messed up. They go hide in this bunker. He pulls them out of the bunker. He rips off the cover on the bunker. He's about to kill everybody. And Mystique finds her way inside there, and she disguises herself as the president. And then all the media cameras, Magneto turns the camera, he's like, I'm the worst thing. You're just getting the taste of us. We're gonna kill you. And he's even making it worse. So Magneto's flipped out. He's like, now the public is crazy frightened about mutants. He's about to kill the president and everybody in there. And so Mystique comes out and she's like, I gotta stop him because, he's even gonna make it worse. But before that, Xavier was trying to tell her that, give the humans a chance, they could change. So she shoots him, but it's just a flesh wound, and it goes through his neck, but it knocks him just enough off that he's off a little bit. She does a little flip kick, knocks him off, his helmet comes off, Xavier takes control of his head. And so he can't kill all the people and show the people on TV that the mutants are not really that bad. They want to, they want to work with humanity. But Mystique still wants to kill the midget guy who is the head of Trask Industries, who's going to make the Sentinels so they could, stop these Sentinels from killing everybody in the future. And so Xavier's like, don't do it. Give the humans a chance. And he's like convincing her. She finally drops the gun. Magneto takes off. Mystique takes off. But before that, Magneto had stuck all his metal through Wolverine, which was the guy with the new subconscious, that anywhere where the story ends in the past is where the new timeline begins in the future. So Magneto stuck like a big pipe and screwed it all through him and stuff, and I guess every time metal goes through him, he forgets where he's at. And so he tossed him in the Potomac River, right? And he falls down, and this is where the story continues after the big fight on the White House lawn. So now he's in there, and as soon as Mystique drops the gun to kill the guy for Trask Industries, the future does never happen. So because it shows Sentinels, they're about to kill all the mutants, and they come in there, and they're about to kill, Kitty, who's like sent his subconscious back, and he says, remember, this is what's going to happen. Wherever you wind up at the end, that's where our new timeline is going to begin, and you're the only one that's going to remember it. And so he's not going to remember it anyway because the metal went through him, right? So Xavier has to extract it later on in the movie. But so anyways, it shows Mystique, who is Stryker in 1973, and they lift Wolverine out of the water, and it shows her eyes turn yellow. So Mystique is the one that puts the metal inside of Wolverine. So now all the movies that you've seen in the past, the timelines have changed. X-Men of Origins, or X-Men Origins of Wolverine, that is not the time. That is not what happened. That does not exist. That basically changed the timeline in reality for us, the moviegoers. Now, if you're not a true Marvel fan and you understand all this, the movie's up and down. You know what I mean? Up and down with entertainment value. And I'll get into that after I finish this, the movie. So, it shows Mystique picking up Wolverine, and then all of a sudden it flashes to the part where it's like in the 1980s, and he's in the school for the gifted mutants, and then he's like, he sees Jean Grey, he sees Cyclops, everybody is back, and he goes to Xavier, he's like, oh, I got a lot to tell you what's happened, and he brings him a date, and that's basically the end of the movie. Everything is back hunky-dory, it's the 1980s, and then after all the credits roll, guess who pops out? Shows this dude, he's like putting the pyramid together, everybody's like, blah, 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 they're all bowing down to him, and then it shows Four Horsemen, and he's kind of blue. It's Apocalypse! The next movie is basically going to be Apocalypse, the ultimate doom on the planet, the guy who has 1% Darwinism, who thinks that everything that's not up to his level is useless, mutants, humans, blah, blah, blah. And so, it goes from the Sentinels terror to Archangel terror. And so now you kind of get the idea that Mystique or Magneto is going to play a role with Archangel down there for the Four Horsemen. They're not going to bring back Archangel, but yeah, they're not going to bring... Apocalypse is not going to bring back Archangel. That's what I meant to say. Apocalypse comes... He's the ultimate evil, one step higher above the Sentinels. So now, the whole history of all the X-Men movies you've seen, even though it was tied into this movie, which if you watch all the movies, you catch on to that, that did not happen. Jean Grey dying, Jean Grey turned into a Phoenix, Wolverine, Origins of Wolverine, all that None of those movies happened. So this timeline changed based on the movie, and it's basically going to be Apocalypse with Mystic and probably Magneto, and there's the ultimate of all battles, and everybody's probably going to die in the next movie. But overall presentation and, what I liked about the movie, was I really entertained at the movie? I'm going to say that based on, being lost and entertained in this movie, if you are not a Marvel comic book reader and you're a noob to this series or a noob to this whole thing or even understand how to put this together and you're not entertained, you're going to be completely lost. You're going to be like, oh, I don't even know what's going on. It's, it's a lot of ups and downs in this movie. I didn't get lost. How I base my value or how I give high grades on a movie is, was I lost in the movie? Was I entertained through the whole movie? I mean, was I excited? Did I come out of the movie and was I like, oh man, it's gonna be awesome, blah 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 blah. First of all, I'm not a big huge Marvel fan, or and I'm not like a complete noob on it either. But I didn't want to sit there and have to think about all this stuff. To me, the drama twist and all that stuff, I'm not down for it. So, is it worth $33 and going to see it 3D and blah, blah, blah? I'm going to say this movie is probably half of the last X-Men movie, or less than half. So, overall, I'm going to have to give this movie a 4.5 out of 10. I wasn't really entertained. The plot took too long to develop. The movie was really long. There wasn't enough action to bridge the boring parts of the movie, like Xavier and his little heroin. I know it's not heroin, but basically save Xavier from his heroin, give him confidence. Try to talk Magneto, little fight between Mystique. All that was bullshit. I got tired. I didn't want to watch that. That was some boring ass shit. I don't care about the melodramatic subplots. Just get on with the fighting. I want to see some action. I mean, there was action, but I don't know what it is about these movies in 2014. What is this, like the new hipster style of doing movies? Like, okay, let's just show them a little bit of action and give you a bunch of drama and subplots and blah, blah, blah. I don't want that. When I go pay $33, I want to be entertained. It's not happening. So, I'm going to say X-Men was another disappointment behind Godzilla. I don't care how much millions and millions of dollars these movies make. To me, the reason why they're making millions and millions of dollars is the high-ass prices they charge for everything to get in the movies. And they're just selling movies off of names now. They're not really entertaining us. I mean, I look at movies not like X-Men and not X-Men, but Star Trek and Avatar on IMAX. I mean, those movies, they kept going. There was a level of, this movie started off and it was like, it was a horse was galloping all the way through, and as far as the plot line and entertainment value and you got excited and you were drawn into the movie, you lost track of time. That doesn't happen in X-Men. What happens is you're like, oh, it's awesome in the beginning, and you see it looks like Terminator 3, a bunch of hills of dead body, and a bunch of, people are all sad and being slaves. You thought this about being some battles going on. Instead, you get this drama about, here's the plot, we're going to try to explain it to you, but it's going to take about 3 hours, what it felt like in the movie. And it was just, no. I didn't like it. I didn't like sitting through it. Like, I give it the leg test. Once my calf starts hurting, and my mind is on my calf, I'm like, nah, this is a bad movie. When the movie's awesome, nothing hurts. You're like, yes, I want more. And I walk out the movie and I would be excited. It didn't happen. So I'm going to give this movie a 4.5 out of 10. I would highly suggest wait until it comes to home video or see a matinee, and don't buy anything, popcorn, or bring your own candy or whatever. That's how I feel about the movie. I don't know about you guys. And like I said, if you're a Marvel head comic guy and you like all the drama plots and that's how you're entertained, maybe based on that, and you like that type of shit, an 8.5. But if you're like me, that's a in between a noob and an average guy who goes to the movie for the principle of being entertained in a movie and getting lost in it, no. For the money you pay, 4.5, and that's being generous. You know, I was generous on Godzilla. Godzilla should have got a 2. But anyways, that's my reviews. I'm sorry. Until next time, it's your boy Fizz. Peace. I'm out.